The world is full of secrets. Hidden truths lie beneath the surface, but few mysteries captivate the imagination like the Illuminati. This shadowy organization has been the subject of countless conspiracy theories. They are whispered about in hushed tones. Some believe they control the world from behind the scenes. Others dismiss them as a myth, but their legend persists. The enduring fascination with the Illuminati speaks to a deeper human need. It is the desire to make sense of a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. In an age of information overload, it is tempting to seek simple explanations. Conspiracy theories provide a sense of order. They offer a narrative in which everything is connected. The Illuminati, with their alleged control over governments and financial systems, provide a convenient scapegoat. They embody the fear of unseen forces manipulating events. They tap into our anxieties about the concentration of power, and they offer a sense of agency in a world where many feel powerless. The story of the Illuminati begins not in smoke-filled rooms, but in the bright light of the Enlightenment. It was an age of reason, a time when old dogmas were challenged. New ideas flourished. It was in this fertile ground in 1776 that a young professor named Adam Weishaupt planted a seed. This seed would grow into the infamous Illuminati order. Weishaupt was a man of contradictions. He was a professor of law at the University of Ingolstadt, yet he was deeply skeptical of authority. He was raised in a Jesuit school, but he came to reject the Church's power. He sought to create a society free from tyranny, superstition, and religious control, a society based on reason and intellectual freedom. The early years of the Illuminati were shrouded in secrecy. Weishaupt, using the codename Spartacus, carefully selected his recruits. He found them in the Masonic lodges of Bavaria. The Illuminati operated within the existing structure of Freemasonry, but their true goals remained hidden. The Illuminati sought nothing less than the overthrow of the Bavarian monarchy. They wanted a new social order based on reason, equality, and individual freedom. Their activities attracted the attention of the authorities. He issued an edict outlawing all secret societies in 1784. The Bavarian authorities moved swiftly to crush the Illuminati. Police raided the homes of suspected members. They seized documents, letters, and ritual objects. The evidence they uncovered revealed the true extent of the Illuminati's ambitions. Their plans for revolution were laid bare. Their network of influence was exposed. Weishaupt became a hunted man. He fled Bavaria, seeking refuge in the neighboring duchy of Saxe-Gotha-Altenburg. He lived the rest of his life in exile. The Illuminati, now exposed and leaderless, crumbled. Their lodges were closed. Their members were arrested or driven underground. The Bavarian Illuminati, as a formal organization, ceased to exist. The legacy of the Bavarian Illuminati is one of paradox. They were a short-lived organization. They were confined to a small corner of Europe. Yet they have had an outsized impact on the popular imagination. Their name has become synonymous with secret societies, conspiracy theories, and the idea of hidden hands controlling world events. Over the centuries, the Illuminati have been blamed for everything from the assassination of JFK to the rise of communism. They've become a catch-all bogeyman for those seeking to explain the complexities of the world through simple narratives of good versus evil. But the reality is far more nuanced. The Illuminati, as they existed in Bavaria, were a product of their time. They were born out of the intellectual ferment of the Enlightenment. They were driven by a desire for social and political change. They were ultimately crushed by the forces of reaction. Their story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of both unchecked power and unchecked idealism. The belief that the Illuminati control governments and shape world events is a cornerstone of many conspiracy theories. It is a seductive narrative. It offers a simple explanation for complex events, It taps into our deepest fears about the world. But is there any truth to it? Proponents point to historical coincidences, cryptic symbols, and secret societies. They argue the Illuminati operate through a network of powerful individuals. These individuals hold positions of influence in governments, corporations, and media. They are said to act in secret. Their true allegiance is hidden. They claim the Illuminati orchestrate wars, economic crashes, and social unrest. Their goal is to establish a new world order. This new world order would be a totalitarian global government. Controlled by a select few, individual liberty would be crushed. Dissent would be silenced. The masses would be enslaved. While these claims are often presented with great conviction, they typically lack concrete evidence. They rely on speculation. The line between fact and fiction becomes blurred. Coincidences are presented as proof of grand conspiracies. The actions of individuals are attributed to the machinations of a hidden cabal. One of the most persistent claims is that the Illuminati control governments through financial manipulation. They point to the power of central banks, such as the Federal Reserve. The Rothschild family is often cited as a prime example of this alleged Illuminati influence. They are portrayed as the puppet masters behind the world's most powerful governments. The Illuminati are also accused of controlling the media. They are said to use their influence to shape public opinion, manufacture consent for their agenda, and suppress dissent. They allegedly own or control major media outlets, from newspapers and television networks to social media platforms. This control, according to conspiracy theorists, allows them to manipulate the flow of information, dictate what is considered news, and censor dissenting voices. They create a false reality, a carefully curated narrative designed to keep the masses ignorant and compliant. They point to the prevalence of certain narratives in the media, such as the promotion of globalization, the downplaying of alternative viewpoints, and the demonization of those who challenge the established order. They see these trends as evidence of a coordinated effort to control the minds of the masses. The internet, while initially hailed as a democratizing force, is now seen by some as another tool of Illuminati control. They argue that social media platforms, with their algorithms and data collection practices, are used to manipulate users, spread propaganda, and silence dissenting voices. The alleged reach of the Illuminati extends beyond governments and financial institutions. They are said to infiltrate all aspects of society, from education and healthcare to religion and entertainment. Their goal to control every facet of human life. Public education, for instance, is seen as a tool for indoctrination. Conspiracy theorists argue that the Illuminati control the curriculum, promoting their agenda through textbooks, standardized tests, and the selection of teachers. They aim to create obedient workers, unquestioning consumers, and compliant citizens. The entertainment industry is another target of suspicion. They see Illuminati symbolism hidden in movies, TV shows, and music videos. They interpret lyrics, imagery, and even the hand gestures of celebrities as evidence of their allegiance to the secretive order. They argue that these messages are designed to normalize their agenda, desensitize the public to their influence, and recruit new members. Even organized religion is not immune from suspicion. Some conspiracy theorists believe that the Illuminati have infiltrated major religions, subverting them from within. They point to the corruption and hypocrisy within religious institutions as evidence of their influence. They argue that the Illuminati seek to replace traditional religions with a New Age spirituality, one that promotes their values of materialism, individualism, and the pursuit of power. While the belief in Illuminati control over governments and world events is widespread, it is important to approach these claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. The evidence presented is often circumstantial, based on speculation and conjecture rather than concrete facts. The lack of evidence, however, does not deter believers. They argue that the absence of proof is in itself proof of the Illuminati's power. Their secrecy, their ability to cover their tracks, is seen as evidence of their reach. Any attempt to debunk these theories is dismissed as further evidence of their control. It is essential to be aware of the dangers of confirmation bias when evaluating these claims. Confirmation bias is the tendency to seek out and interpret information in a way that confirms our existing beliefs while ignoring or dismissing evidence that contradicts them. While it is important to question the official narratives, to challenge authority and to think critically about the world around us, it is equally important to avoid falling into the trap of seeing conspiracies everywhere. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Without it, we risk succumbing to fear, paranoia, and a distorted view of reality. To believe the whispers, the Illuminati are everywhere and nowhere. Their tendrils reach across the globe, burrowing into the heart of every nation. But their influence is not evenly spread. Some regions are considered more crucial to their plans, strongholds of power from which they exert their control. Pinpointing these locations is like chasing shadows. Conspiracy thrives on whispers and speculation, on connecting the dots that others miss. But certain locations appear repeatedly in the narratives, each shrouded in its own layer of myth and intrigue. These are not necessarily places where the Illuminati gather in hooded robes conducting their secret rituals. Instead, they are centers of power, places where influence is concentrated, decisions are made, and the course of history is subtly steered. From the bustling streets of global cities to the quiet corridors of ancient institutions, the search for the Illuminati's presence leads us on a journey into the heart of power itself. It forces us to confront the uncomfortable truth that control is often exercised not through brute force, but through subtle manipulation, hidden agendas, and the quiet whispers of those who know how to play the game. No country inspires more suspicion among Illuminati watchers than the United States. As the world's last remaining superpower, its influence is undeniable. But for conspiracy theorists, this influence goes beyond mere political and military might. It represents the Illuminati's grip on the world stage. The evidence, they say, is everywhere. From the all-seeing eye on the dollar bill to the Masonic symbols allegedly embedded in the architecture of Washington, D.C., America is portrayed as the Illuminati's grand experiment. The Federal Reserve, America's central bank, is often cited as the epicenter of their financial control. Its decisions, made behind closed doors, are said to ripple across the global economy, enriching the few at the expense of the many. But it's not just financial institutions that draw suspicion. Hollywood, the world's entertainment capital, is seen as a tool for propaganda, subtly inserting Illuminati themes and symbolism into movies and music, normalizing their agenda for mass consumption. While America might be the current seat of global power, conspiracy theorists often trace the Illuminati's roots back to the older centers of influence, to the heart of empires past. And no city holds more allure than London. This is the City of London, the ancient financial district, a square mile of power that operates with its own laws and traditions, a place where fortunes are made and lost on a whim. It is here, they say, that the real strings are pulled, the financial machinations that shape the world are set in motion. The Bank of England, founded in 1694, looms large in these narratives, its imposing facade a symbol of centuries of financial dominance. It is seen as the model for central banks around the world, institutions that control the flow of money and with it, the fate of nations. But London's influence extends beyond finance. It is home to some of the world's oldest and most prestigious universities, institutions that have shaped the minds of generations of leaders. It is a place steeped in history, where secret societies have long operated in the shadows, wielding influence behind the scenes. While London and Washington are often cited in Illuminati lore, the search for their influence leads to unexpected places. Some point to the Vatican, the heart of the Catholic Church, as a key player in the Illuminati's game. Others look to Egypt, the land of pyramids and pharaohs, seeing connections between Illuminati symbols and ancient Egypt. These locations represent more than just geographical coordinates. They are focal points for our anxieties about power and control. The Illuminati's power, so the story goes, doesn't stem solely from their alleged control, but from their mastery of a far more potent weapon secrecy. They operate in the shadows, their movements cloaked, their motives obscured. This is not mere paranoia, it's the core of their supposed strength. Think about it. A conspiracy exposed is a conspiracy weakened. Sunlight, as they say, is the best disinfectant. So for an organization bent on global domination, remaining hidden isn't just an option, it's a necessity. This commitment to secrecy, real or imagined, fuels the Illuminati's mystique. It's a self-perpetuating cycle. The less we know, the more we speculate. Every rumor, every unexplained event, every hidden hand becomes further proof of their influence. Of course, this poses a problem for those seeking concrete answers. How do you prove the existence of something that's designed to be unprovable? How do you penetrate a veil of secrecy woven over centuries, fortified by whispers and misinformation? Section 2. Whispers and Shadows. The Illuminati, assuming they exist as claimed, employ a range of tactics to maintain their cloak of invisibility. The first, and perhaps most effective, is compartmentalization. This principle dictates that individuals within the organization only know as much as they need to. Imagine a pyramid at the base. Countless individuals carry out seemingly innocuous tasks, unaware of the grander scheme. As you ascend, knowledge increases, but so does the isolation. Only at the very top, the apex of the pyramid, resides the true architects of the conspiracy, their identities shrouded in secrecy. This structure makes the Illuminati incredibly resilient. Exposure at lower levels, while disruptive, wouldn't threaten the organization's core. It would be like cutting off a hydra's head. Two more would grow in its place. Then there's disinformation, the art of muddying the waters. By planting false leads, encouraging outlandish theories, the Illuminati can discredit genuine investigations, turning legitimate inquiry into a fool's errand. Section 3. Truth, Disinformation and the Fog of Doubt. Disinformation thrives in the fertile ground of uncertainty. It's a psychological weapon designed to sow confusion, to make us question what's real and what's not. The Illuminati, if they're as cunning as claimed, understand this perfectly. Consider the sheer volume of information available, especially online. It's a cacophony of voices, each claiming to possess the truth. In this environment, discerning fact from fiction becomes a Herculean task. This is where the Illuminati thrives. They don't need to silence dissent, they simply need to dilute it. Flood the information ecosystem with enough noise, enough conflicting narratives, and the truth becomes lost in the clamor. The result? Apathy, cynicism, a sense that pursuing the truth is a futile exercise. People retreat into their echo chambers, surrounded by information that confirms their existing biases, their critical thinking skills dulled by the constant barrage of misinformation. Section 4. The enduring allure of the unknown. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the belief in the Illuminati persists. Why? Perhaps it's the allure of the unknown, the thrill of peering behind the curtain of reality. Conspiracy theories offer a sense of order in a chaotic world. They provide explanations for seemingly random events, connecting the dots in a way that official narratives often fail to do. They empower us, making us feel like we're privy to knowledge hidden from the masses. The Illuminati, in this context, becomes more than just a secret society. They become a symbol of our deepest fears and anxieties. They represent the unseen forces that shape our lives, the powers that be, the feeling that we're not in control of our own destiny. Whether or not the Illuminati actually exists, as described, is almost beside the point. Their power lies in the stories we tell about them, the narratives that tap into our deepest fears and desires. And as long as we crave explanations for the unexplainable, The Illuminati will continue to cast a long shadow over our collective imagination. Section 1. The unending enigma, the Illuminati. Shadowy figures, clandestine meetings, and a world manipulated from the shadows. Are they a relic of the past or a force still shaping our world? The answer remains shrouded in mystery. Their influence echoes through corridors of power, yet concrete proof of their existence remains elusive. Perhaps that's intentional, a testament to their mastery of deception.